Okay, everybody, so what you're gonna need for your mobility is a lacrosse ball or a tennis ball. If you don't have either of those, I highly recommend buying some off of Amazon if you don't have some because they come in handy just for anything that you do, and it'll be helpful down the road when everything opens back up to keep you nice and healthy. If you currently don't have one of those, you can use something like a canned good. You probably don't want to do it against your wall because it might scratch it, or you can have someone at your home, since you're living with people, dig in there with their thumb. And if you are solo quarantined, then you can bunch up a towel, like preferably a sweat towel, and like knot it. That could also work as well. Okay, or you can use your foam roller too, one of those. So what we're gonna do is we're really gonna focus on the shoulder and the hip girdle. In order to do that, you're gonna need a wall to do that, and you need some space. And the reason why I'm focusing on these two girdles / complexes is a lot of deficiencies of our exercises arise from issues of alignment in our shoulders and in our hips. So for example, if you don't do any warm-ups with your shoulders or your hips and you jump on your bike or you go for a run, or even if you just go for a small short walk, or if you're trying to lift heavy or even light, one little like inch off or tightness could completely throw off your biomechanics when you're trying to lift, run, bike, or walk. So what we want to do is we want to diminish those deficiencies so that you can lift heavier, run, walk, bike faster. Okay, so we're going to start from the top down. So I want you to grab whatever item you have at home, and we're going to start with the shoulder. Okay, so right here, so this is your shoulder blade, and then the muscles that surround that shoulder blade. So right about here is where I'm gonna put the lacrosse ball on my wall. And so I'm gonna get down into that crevice here, and I'm gonna push my back and my hips onto the wall. Okay, there's gonna be a slight natural arch on your back, from your back to the wall. So if you can try to diminish that space as best as you can by tucking your pelvis under, that'd be awesome. And you can get some feedback between the wall and your back by putting your hand back here, and if there's too much space, to continue to tuck your pelvis. Now I put it behind my left shoulder blade muscle, and so I'm going to move my left arm up while pressing my low back and my hips and my butt to the wall and back. Now notice that my hand doesn't touch the wall. If yours doesn't, like mine, it probably means you're super tight back there. If your hand does touch it, you're doing a good job with your shoulder mobility. The goal is to be able to touch it. Don't force it, okay? Like I just did. I was just trying to show you. I always stop at my own range of motion. You should too. If you do this every day before you work out and on your off days, like I suggest in the week's plan, you will get closer and closer to touching the wall. Now notice how I'm moving up and down too. So I can move over, up, down, and there you can find tight spots and continue to do that. Just remember, don't arch and hyperextend your back. Every time you reset that ball, you're going to tighten your hips there. I recommend doing 30 to 45 seconds on each shoulder. Okay, so let's switch over to the right shoulder. You're gonna find that muscle that's usually tight. You're gonna sit your hips down, tuck your pelvis under, lift that arm up, keeping your elbow as close to your temple as possible, relaxing this opposite shoulder, and then coming back down. Okay, again, checking for feedback with your back against the wall, making sure that you're activating the right muscles, reaching and stretching your fingertips as tall as possible, slowly coming back down. When you find your tight spaces, it's really hard, it's really easy to hold our breath and harder to breathe. So just make sure every time you're going against work, you're exhaling, and every time you're going with work, you're inhaling, okay? So this is the hardest part, and then relief comes here, okay? So 30 seconds to 45 seconds on each side. Now I'm gonna set the ball down, and I'm gonna put my left shoulder up against the wall here, and I'm gonna make sure I have good posture by sitting up tall, tucking my pelvis. I'm gonna put my right hand behind my back, and I'm gonna put my hand on the wall like this. My hips are also touching the wall, and I'm gonna make, I'm gonna alleviate the space between my hip and the wall as soon as my hand comes down. You're gonna make wall circles. Okay, again, this might be hard to make a circle. Like this part right here is hard for me. That means I have deficiency right there in my pec and in my trap. So if you can only go to like right here, that's fine. And then you're gonna reverse circles too. So let's do 5 circles forward and 5 circles backward. Okay, slow is the name of the game here. You're trying to keep your body going forward and not rotating. See, mine is a little rotating, so I'm gonna stop right here to try to keep my body forced. Half circles is what most people can do. If you can do a full circle again, nice job, keep it up, okay? Even if you can do that without any pain or catches, I really want you guys to make sure that you continue to do this before every workout, only because you don't want to get any deficiencies. So just because you're able to do it now doesn't mean that there won't be problems in the future. Okay, so on the same other side, so you're gonna do 5 circles forward and 5 back. Try to keep the opposite hand locked on your lower back so that you can try to keep your body facing forward as long as possible. Okay, inhaling as you drive up and around, exhale to close the gap. Okay, and then we're gonna go backwards, really getting into that shoulder complex, helping it open and alleviate any catches that it might have. Up and around, keeping your body as close to the wall as possible. You're gonna have to lift your hips up and away from the wall for it to come down. And the last one. You might notice that this feels really good once you warm up after a couple, so doing it 2 times is highly recommended. If you only have time for 1, that's better than nothing. Okay, so the next one, what I want you guys to do is you're probably not gonna be able to see all of my body parts. I'm gonna show you here. I'm gonna place my hands at the nape of my neck and interlace them like so. Okay, but I'm not yanking on my neck, it's just gently touching. And I'm gonna put my elbows as high as I can on the wall, and I'm gonna pull down to get my triceps, okay? So I'm standing up against the wall, and I'm gonna pull my body away, and I'm gonna keep from hyperextending my back by tucking my pelvis, but I'm still pulling away from the wall, tucking my head, and pulling down. Sometimes it helps to do a kickstand with your foot, so keeping out one foot. So just easing into this tricep extension here. If it feels better to do this, you can drive your armpits towards the wall, push your butt away from the wall, and extend your fingertips and keeping your neck nice and neutral. You want to hold this stretch because it's all those tiny little muscles. You want to hold this for about a minute. Widening out those grips, closing your eyes, taking really big, deep, relaxing breaths. Okay, you're going to slowly peel yourself from the wall. Everything in a mobility work should be slow, not yanking around. The last shoulder exercise we're going to do is called angel slides. So you're going to hike your back up against the wall again, tuck your pelvis so your low back is touching the wall. Make sure you get feedback by making sure that that back is touching. And once that back is placed, your feet are shoulder width apart, and your butt is tucked. You're going to place your elbows in the backs of your hands towards the wall. Okay, you're gonna try to keep your knuckles touching the wall at all times, and then the elbows all the way down, and your elbows will try to leave, which is okay on the way up, but they need to be pressing on the way back down. Your knuckles should be staying on the wall the whole time. Now, if you're tight, you're gonna find yourself doing this because your body wants to compensate. So if you're doing that, again, slow down the range of motion. If you can only get to here, that's okay. Eventually, we need you to get up to here. Okay, working there and then bringing it back down. But if you find yourself leaving the wall, stop where you don't leave the wall and try to really focus on which side you need to focus on. So for me, like my left is the worst side because I sleep pretty heavy on this side. So I'm just gonna take my right arm out of the equation and do 5 extra here. I want you guys to do at least 20 of these and or a minute, okay? So that's really a good one for the shoulders, okay? Now that we've kind of warmed up our shoulders, we're gonna warm up our hips, okay? So you guys have seen where I do some hip circles. So that's also something you can do up against the wall. So lifting up and over. We're gonna do 10 forwards, so go ahead and start with me, keeping your foot flexed. Notice that it's not small circles, okay? It's up and around, nice and slow. Hips are headlights, just like on a car, they don't switch this way and this way. We're always facing forward, nice, slow, and controlled. Keeping your spine really tall. If you want to get a little bit extra, you can get your shoulder involved by reaching nice and tall. Okay? Working on your stabilizer leg, getting your low back muscles involved. Then you're going to go 10 backwards, again, as high as you can, keeping your foot flexed the whole time, really focusing on opening that hip girdle. Inhale up, exhale down. And go ahead and switch. So arm up if you want. If you not, you can just use it for balance on the wall. And we're going to go 10 forward, nice, slow, and controlled. Keeping your chin up, neck is long. And reverse, keeping that foot nice and flexed. I promise you, if you take the time to warm up, you will feel yourself work out better. What I've noticed as I've gotten older is my warm up is longer than my workout. Doing things like this is still strengthening you, still getting those core muscles activated, but my warm up's like 30 minutes and then I only work out for 20 minutes on a good day, 30 minutes. But I always feel better when I take the time to warm up rather than just driving into the workout. Okay? The next couple, we only have 2 more stretches. So I want you to go against the wall like so. I'm going to talk to you this way and then I'm going to demonstrate it. You're going to push yourself away from the wall so your arms are extended, and you're going to plant one leg and you're going to swing one leg like a window wiper. Okay? So pressing here, we're going to go 10 window wipers here, keeping your arms straight, your chin is off your chest, and flexing your feet, opening up your hip girdle. Okay? So breathing, standing up tall, not looking at the ground. And then you're going to swing that same leg. So I was just swinging my right. I'm going to push myself against the wall, stabilize on my left foot. Then I'm going to swing this leg out in front. Okay? Opening out my hip flexors, getting my glute to turn on here. Okay? Then we're going to go to our left. Swing for 10. And then keep on your left and swing for 10 here, flexing your foot. Again, you might notice one side looser than the other one, so focus on your tighter side. And then the last stretch, once you go up against the wall, figure 4, so bring your right ankle on top of your left knee, and you're gonna use the wall, push your butt into the wall, and lean into this figure 4 stretch, flexing that foot, holding for 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, this realigns your sacrum. So driving that butt back, keeping a neutral flat back, and switching on to the other one. Okay, so this is gonna be our off day and our warm up workout. Okay, have a good day.